Let's go over a basic minimal inventory. So what is a minimal inventory? Minimal inventory is carrying as little as possible to maximize your hauling capacity. Now, for mainline quests, boss like missions and long missions where you're going to be in extended firefights, I don't really recommend running this, but for most missions and for most main missions and quests, this is totally fine. So the minimal inventory, in my eyes, is 5 med kits, 10 bandages, 2 to 3 food. So I have like 2 canned food and a sausage, so that's 3 food total. Like 1 to 2 anti-radiation drugs, enough ammo. I would say like 400 ammo total between different guns. So this should be more than enough if I'm just like going for headshots and being careful. And like 3 to 5 grenades. Now the grenades are mostly going to be used on like rat swarms or as needed, but typically I save them for rat swarms, and then of course block if you have it. Now for my actual like loadout, I have like an assault rifle, an SMG, burst damage pistol that's suppressed. I have 2 suppressed weapons, so I can be stealthy if I need to. And the main reason why I don't have more anti-radiation is because I have a suit that has at least like 2 to 3 radiation protection. Having a suit with 2 to 3 radiation protection should be enough to reduce radiation from most sources outside of like lethal radiation sources that accumulate it rapidly. So you really only need like 1 to 2 of these. And as you go on any mission or any like stash run, you're gonna run into vodka, into beer, maybe more anti-radiation drugs. You're going to be getting more health kits from enemies, assuming you're not wasting them. You're going to be getting more bandages. You're going to be getting more food. So you don't really need to go heavy on these resources. So right now my weight is only 30 kilograms with 2 primary weapons, a secondary burst weapon, and of course Skiff's pistol, which is, you know, pretty lightweight, so it's really not that big of a deal to have it. But if you want to go even lighter, you could just run Skiff's pistol, so that would save 1.4 kilograms. You can also go lighter on the ammo if you're just going to be on single fire mode, and you can pick your fights. Now, if you know like what you're going to be fighting, like if you're going to be fighting burrs or bloodsuckers or mutants or things that are generally going to be more ammo spongy, then you should probably bring more ammo. But if you're just going to be exploring, looting stashes, doing side quests, or like most main quests, especially like the early to middle game main quests where there's not like extended firefights for long periods of time, you should be good to go with something like this. For the loadouts, in terms of artifacts, Weird Ball is always good to run because if you're standing still, you have a pretty big damage reduction. It also says that it reduces damage, bullet damage in combat in general. I don't know the values on this. If anyone knows, definitely drop a comment because I want to know like the actual values. But you have a slight bullet damage reduction that's increased more when you're standing still. Of course, we have Mika, which reduces radiation, and then we have Cavity, which reduces bleeding and weight, so I get a weight increase. And then I have another weight radiation reduction. Really what I'm holding out for is a heavier weight reduction with like a medium radiation effect. But running things like Cavity, like anything that increases weight, allows you to carry more. So like you can see here, it gives me +2. So increasing your total carry capacity is also good. But this is like a general minimal loadout. So if you want to copy this, feel free. Now, if you find that you use more medkits or that you're like eating more damage and you feel like you need more, you can bring like 10 because they really don't weigh that much. But just consider that as you're killing enemies, if you're looting and exploring, you should find medkits. Almost like even in the final mission, the game just throws medkits at you, like an alarming amount of them. So you should be fine with like this minimal of resources. Now, if you want to go even more minimalistic, you could like drop a primary weapon. So let's like simulate that. So now I'm 25 kilograms with just 2 weapons. So you could do that as well. It's good to have a backup just in case. It's good to have 2 primary weapons, generally speaking. But if you know you're just going to be looting stashes, you could go super lightweight. So if I knew for a fact that I'm going to be avoiding combat and I'm just going to be looting stashes and I'm just not even going to be fighting people, I probably would do something like this. and now I'm 18 kilograms, and I would use this pistol and Skiff's pistol, and you could equip them in either slot, but you'd have like 2 weapons basically. So you could run something like this if you're just going to be looting, and then obviously energy drinks would be ideal for that. But at this light of weight, you shouldn't really need too many energy drinks anyways, but you could buy some before you go, or if you're collecting them. You'll typically find them on soldiers, energy drinks and water, and in like the food containers. So energy drinks are good. I usually have it set up so that this is energy drinks. But if you want to go super lightweight scavenger mode, if you want to go even crazier, if you want to go as lightweight as humanly possible, you do something like this. If you want to go ultra lightweight, and you're just scavenging, you could run an inventory like this for just like looting stashes. Now you're going to be taking full damage from like anomalies and stuff, so losing your armor is always a risk. But you could just run like a mask that has some protection too. That's actually something I was considering doing. But yeah, these are like the differences in the weight reduction and stuff. So, all right, if you found this useful, definitely like and subscribe. Also, feel free to comment your ultralight, light, medium, and heavy setups for different situations, because, as you know, spreading information helps. So if you have good builds and good loadouts, and you run a good setup, it is good to like discuss it with people so that everyone can learn about it, including myself. So yeah, thanks for checking this out. Peace.